Hi Nana. Today in this video we will learn the question bank 5 related to study of first element hydrogen. Okay, in this we will start from 14th question. We have finished all 13 answers. Okay, now we will start with 14th question. What is 14th question? State 4 physical properties of hydrogen gas. Okay, so hydrogen gas, it shows properties. Those properties can be classified as physical properties and chemical properties. So here we have to mention only the physical properties. Okay, so how to answer this? Actually, physical properties means properties like color, smell, taste, density, solubility, etc. will be covered under physical properties. So we have to mention any 4 physical properties of hydrogen gas. So first property we'll discuss. So it is a colorless gas. Okay, hydrogen gas is a colorless. It does not have any smell. That means odorless. Odor, O-D-O-U-R, colorless, odorless, and even it is a tasteless gas. Okay, and tasteless gas. Okay, next, if you see the property of hydrogen gas, the lightest gas. So the only lightest gas here it is hydrogen. I mean the least weight gas is hydrogen. It is lighter than air. Okay, lightest gas. Okay, it is lighter than air. It is lighter than air. Why it is lighter than air? Why it is lighter than air? Because if you see the vapor density of hydrogen, is 1 only. But vapor density of air is 14.4. So that means when compared to the density of hydrogen, the density of air is 14 times heavier. Hence, the denser one will sink and the lighter one will float. So that means hydrogen will float in air. As it is having less density, it will float in air. Hence, hydrogen is considered as having lesser weight than air. Okay, because the vapor density of hydrogen is 1 and the vapor density of air is 14.4. Hence, hydrogen is lighter than air. Okay, right. See, if you send hydrogen gas into water, that hydrogen gas does not dissolve in water. Okay, simply it does not dissolve in water. That means hydrogen gas is insoluble in water. Okay, it is insoluble in water. Insoluble in water. That means hydrogen gas does not dissolve in water. Okay. Next, this hydrogen gas can be liquefied. So the gas, when generally any gas can be liquefied when it is compressed. When it is compressed, that means if you apply large pressures on that gas, what happens? All the gas molecules will come closer and closer, and finally, at a low temperature, that gas will convert into liquid. In the same way, even hydrogen gas also. Okay, so under very high pressure, even a hydrogen gas also under very high pressure and low temperatures. Not only hydrogen gas, generally any gas will behave like this only. So under very high pressure and low temperature and low temperatures, what happens? It will liquefy. Okay, hydrogen gas will liquefy. It liquefies. So like this, we can discuss many physical properties. So as it is mentioned, only 4 physical properties. So we can conclude these 4 physical properties. Okay, right. So what is the next question? 15th question. State 4 uses of hydrogen gas. Next question is 15th question. State 4 uses of hydrogen gas. So first use, this hydrogen gas, it can be used in the preparation of flame, a special type of flame known as oxyhydrogen flame. Okay, that means it is used for oxyhydrogen flame. So a special type of flame which possess very high temperatures. This flame will have very high temperatures. The temperature around 3480 degrees centigrade. Okay, so this much height, thousands of temperatures, thousands of degrees temperatures. It is used for oxyhydrogen flame. Okay, or else it is used in oxyhydrogen flame. Why this flame is used? See what is the use of this flame then? It is used in oxyhydrogen flame. So for cutting of metals, for cutting of metals and welding of metals. Welding of metals. What is the meaning of cutting? Suppose if a metal piece is there, so if you heat this metal piece somewhere with the help of this flame, okay, if you heat this metal piece somewhere with the help of this flame, so this flame, what happens? Actually, the flame, the instrument which is producing this flame, it is having 2 connections. One connection is to hydrogen gas cylinder and another connection is to oxygen gas cylinder. Okay, so here hydrogen and oxygen, they are mixed in a special ratio. Okay, in a particular ratio, so that mixture will burn here. Okay, the mixture will burn here, and due to the burning of that mixture, this oxyhydrogen flame is produced. Oxyhydrogen flame is produced, and this oxyhydrogen flame, it has a very high temperature of 3400 degrees centigrade. Okay, due to that very high temperature, what happens? This metal piece will be broken down. That means that metal piece will get cutted. Okay, so like this metal piece can be cutting. we can use this oxyhydrogen flame, okay, for cutting of metals and even for welding of metals. Welding means joining. Suppose if two metal pieces are there, if you want to join this one, even for joining of the metal pieces, or else any parts of metal body can be joined with the help of this oxyhydrogen flame. Okay, so in this way, hydrogen gas is used. It is useful in the manufacturing or else in the preparation of oxyhydrogen flame, so that that very high temperatures can be utilized for cutting or welding purpose. It is also used in the hydrogenation of oils. It is used in the hydrogenation of oils. Hydrogenation of oils. What is the meaning of hydrogenation of oils? Hydrogenation of oils is nothing but conversion of the oils from liquid to solid state. Oils are made to react with hydrogen gas. When oil molecules react with hydrogen gas, they solidify. Okay, they solidify, and finally it will be converted into another material known as dalda. Dalda, or it is also called as vanaspati ghee. So the formation of vanaspati ghee from liquid oils by passing hydrogen gas, okay, is called as hydrogenation of oils. Once again, if you send hydrogen gas into the oils at very high temperature in the presence of catalysts, what happens? That oil will convert, it will turn into vanaspati ghee. Okay, vanaspati ghee means dalda. It is also called as margarine. Okay, so like this, conversion of oils into liquid oil into solid dalda is said to be hydrogenation of oils. Okay, so in the hydrogenation of oils, so this hydrogen gas is used. Right. Next, another use of this hydrogen gas is, it is used as a fuel in rockets. Okay, it is used as fuel. Okay, rockets will run with the help of fuel hydrogen, liquid hydrogen. Okay, fuel. Okay, it is used as fuel in rockets. Sorry, fuel in rockets. Okay. Next use, it is used in the manufacturing of ammonia. Used in the manufacturing of ammonia. Manufacturing of ammonia. What is the formula of ammonia? Ammonia, its formula is NH3. Then what is the use of this ammonia? This ammonia is used in the manufacturing of fertilizers. Then what are fertilizers? Fertilizers are the substances, or else fertilizers are the chemicals which are useful for the healthy growth of the plants. So for the manufacturing of fertilizers we need ammonia, and for manufacture of this ammonia we need what? Hydrogen gas. Generally hydrogen gas, it is made to react with nitrogen under special conditions. What happens? So both of them will react with each other to form ammonia. Okay, so if you balance it, so this is the balanced equation for the reaction of hydrogen with nitrogen to form ammonia. So like this, we can discuss so many uses of hydrogen. So only 4 were asked in the question. So we can conclude with these 4 uses. Okay, right. Next one. 16th question. 16th question is related to hydrogenation of oils. Hydrogenation of oils. So we need to explain. How hydrogenation of oil is done. Sixteenth question. What do you understand by the term hydrogenation of oils? Hydrogenation of oils. Okay, hydrogenation of vegetable oils. Hydrogenation of vegetable oils. Okay, briefly explain how hydrogenation is carried out. Briefly explain how hydrogenation is carried out. How hydrogenation is carried out. Right. So what is the meaning of hydrogenation of oils? Hydrogenation of vegetable hydrogenation. The term hydrogenation means addition of hydrogen. Hydrogenation means addition of hydrogen. So to whom this hydrogen is added? Hydrogen is added to vegetable oils. Hydrogen is added to vegetable oils. So that what happens? The molecules of the vegetable oils, they will react with hydrogen, and finally that liquid vegetable oil is converted into solid form. It is solidified even at room temperature. Okay, so and this process is said to be hydrogenation of oils. That means addition of hydrogen gas. Addition of hydrogen gas or else hydrogen atoms to what? To the molecules of vegetable oil. To the molecules of vegetable oils. To the molecules of vegetable oils. Such that what happens? This vegetable oil can be solidified. Okay, such that it means here the vegetable oil can be solidified. It can be solidified even at room temperature. Even at room temperature. What is room temperature? Room temperature is around 30 to 35 degrees centigrade. Okay, such that it can be solidified even at temperature of 30 to 35 degrees centigrade. Okay, that process is called what? The addition of hydrogen. That process is called as what? Hydrogenation of oil. That process is called as hydrogenation of oil. See, actually, you have to take the vegetable oil. So, vegetable oil means the oil which is obtained from plants, like groundnut oil or coconut oil, or else pine oil, or else palm olive oil. So, like this, all the oils which are obtained from the plants are said to be vegetable oils. So, first we have to take vegetable oils, colorless and smellless vegetable oils we have to collect, we have to take. See here, for example, I have taken a vegetable oil, maybe groundnut oil, or else palm oil, or else a sunflower oil, or else a rice bran oil. So any oil we may take. So the vegetable oil, it is mixed with a special catalyst known as nickel. So small pieces, small powder of nickel. Nickel is taken in the form of powder, finely divided nickel. So what is this one actually? This liquid is called as, it is vegetable oil. Vegetable oil, and here into this finely divided nickel is added. Finely divided, that means fine, very small granules of nickel. Finely divided nickel is added. Nickel is it's a metal. So what is the atomic number of nickel? Cobalt, nickel, copper, zinc. So the atomic number of nickel is 28. Okay, so that metal whose atomic number is 28, it is taken in the finely divided form. Okay, and it is added to this vegetable oil. Now, so this metal, it acts as a catalyst. It acts as what? Catalyst. What is the use of catalyst? Catalyst will change the speed of the reaction. So what is happening here? Hydrogen gas, it is added to vegetable oil. Vegetable oil. So that means, so to this mixture, so this mixture is heated. This mixture is heated to very high temperatures. Okay, around 200 degrees centigrade, around 200 to 400, between 200 to 400 degrees centigrade, even up to 450 degrees centigrade also. Okay, so what happens? First we have to remove the color of the vegetable oils, or else the smell of the vegetable oils. Decolorized vegetable oils, they are mixed with, this oil is mixed with what? Finely divided nickel, and it is heated to the temperature ranging from 200 to 450 degrees centigrade. So here I mentioned it as 400 only. So it may be heated up to 450 also. So at this temperature, okay, into this mixture, we have to send a hydrogen gas. We have to send a hydrogen gas. You have to send what? Hydrogen gas is sent into this one. Slowly the bubbles of hydrogen gas will be released into this one. These bubbles of hydrogen gas, this hydrogen gas will start reacting with vegetable oil. Okay, slowly this hydrogen gas will bind with the molecules of vegetable oils. This hydrogen gas will bind with the molecules of vegetable oils. Okay, and it reacts with them. And finally what happens? So you will get a this mixture, or you will get this vegetable oil, it get reduced. So vegetable oil is reduced vegetable oils. Reduced vegetable oils. What is the meaning of reduced here? Generally, addition of hydrogen is called as reduction. So as hydrogen is added to vegetable oils, now you will get reduced form of vegetable oil. So now it is hot, under hot condition. it is obtained. Okay, so this is nothing but what? Dalda. It is nothing but dalda, or else we can call it as this dalda. It is sold in the market by the special name known as Vanaspati ghee. Vanaspati ghee. So dalda is nothing but Vanaspati ghee. So finally, Vanaspati ghee is obtained from hydrogen gas. Okay, that means from vegetable oils by the reaction with hydrogen gas. And this process of obtaining of Vanaspati ghee, or else dalda, or else a reduced form of vegetable oils, this process is said to be hydrogenation of vegetable oils. And finally, if you cool after this one, after hydrogen gas is passed into this one, and after the reaction of hydrogen gas with vegetable oils, now we have to filter this one. We have to filter this one, and we have to remove this nickel catalyst. Okay, we have to remove this nickel catalyst upon filtering. And finally, what do you get? You will get only the oil. Okay, reduced form of the oil is left over after removal of the filtering of this nickel from this one. Okay, from the mixture that nickel catalyst is removed. Okay, now upon cooling this mixture to room temperature, that mixture will convert into solid. It will be solidified. Okay, that vegetable oil will get solidified when it is cooled to room temperature. Room temperature means around 30 to 35 degrees centigrade. So now what happened? That vegetable oil, the liquid form of vegetable oil, will be converted into solid dalda. So this process is said to be hydrogenation of oils. Hydrogenation of vegetable oils. Okay, right. We learn the 17th answer. You have to take a colorless oil, okay, colorless vegetable oil and a smellless, okay. So that oil only we have to use for the preparation of dalda. Otherwise, dalda gets spoiled. It will be spoiled. Okay, so we have to use the colorless and odorless. Odorless means smellless. It does not possess any smell. The oil the vegetable oil which we are using, it should be of colorless and odorless. Next, 17th question. What is 17th question? Metal sodium decomposes water. Metal sodium decomposes what? Decomposes water. That means sodium metal will decompose. It will break down the water. That even in cold water also. Okay. Metal sodium decomposes water at ordinary temperature. At ordinary temperature. That means ordinary temperature means at room temperature. Even at room temperature also, that sodium metal will decompose water into hydrogen gas. Okay. Next, the metal magnesium. The metal magnesium decomposes boiling water, not water at ordinary temperature. So magnesium, it will decompose the boiling water, not the ordinary water, not the cool water. Sodium can decompose the cool water or else cold water, but magnesium cannot decompose cold water. It decomposes only the boiling water, but even boiling also water, it decomposes boiling water, even this boiling water also very slowly, very slowly. But sodium, it decomposes even cold water with very rapid speed. Okay, very slowly, but much quicker. This magnesium, much quicker. It can quickly. Okay, it can quickly break down when in powder form. When magnesium is taken in powder form, in okay, magnesium is when magnesium is taken in powder form, what happens? The decomposition of boiling water will be quicker. It will be quickly done. Okay, explain why it is so. Explain briefly. Explain briefly why is this so? Why is this so? That means why magnesium is able to decompose boiling water, but sodium can decompose even ordinary or else cold water. See, sodium, how can you answer this question? So in order to answer this question, we have to know metal activity series. According to metal activity series, so if you see the metal activity series, first potassium will come. Potassium is more reactive than sodium. Sodium is more reactive than calcium. Calcium is more reactive than magnesium. And magnesium is more reactive than aluminum. So like this. If you see the reactivity of sodium and magnesium metal, so sodium is more reactive than magnesium. Sodium is highly reactive metal. Okay, when compared to magnesium. Hence, so the more reactive metals, so mainly these three metals, they can react even with cold water. They can react even with cold water. But the metals after calcium, those metals are less reactive. Okay, so these metals are highly reactive. That is why they can react even with cold water. But after calcium, the next metals, the next coming metals, they are less reactive. So as they are less reactive, so we have to take water in the form of steam or else in the form of boiling water. Boiling water or steam. Particularly, we have to take steam. So magnesium can react even with boiling water. But other metals, we have to. But other metals, they cannot react even with boiling water also. Other metals, they cannot react even with boiling water also. So for other metals, we have to use steam. So these other metals will break down the steam. They can break down only steam. They cannot break down even boiling water also. But magnesium can be break down. It can be used to break down the boiling water also. Okay. See, sodium, if you take sodium metal, it can react with even with cold water, and this water is decomposed, and it liberates a hydrogen gas. Okay, and this sodium will react with water and form sodium hydroxide, NaOH. So water is decomposed into OH and hydrogens under normal condition, under ordinary temperature. But for magnesium, so under cold water cannot be, and this magnesium cannot decompose cold water. So we have to take the water in the form of boiling water. So then only magnesium, and that too, this magnesium should be taken in the form of finely divided powder. Okay, it should be taken in the form of powder form, because powder form it offers large surface area for this steam or else for this boiling point, boiling water to react. So as powder form, remember powder form, when a substance is taken in powder form, what happens? It offers large surface area, for the reaction. Okay, when taken in powder form, it will offer large surface area for the reaction. If you take magnesium in solid form, not in powder form, if you take in the form of large pieces, then the reaction will be very, very slow. It will be very slow when magnesium is taken in the form of large pieces. So in order to make the reaction to occur quickly, so that that magnesium powder, that magnesium metal should be taken in the form of powder. Okay, because in the powder form, that magnesium metal, not only magnesium, generally any metal or else any substance will offer large surface area when that substance is taken in powder form. Okay, so that means in order to make this reaction to run faster, okay, so here what happens? It produces magnesium oxide and hydrogen gas is liberated in this process. Okay, so that means now even the powder form also, this magnesium should be heated. Even the powder magnesium should be heated. But sodium, no need of heating the sodium metal. Simply normal sodium metal, that means without heated, the normal sodium piece, if it is added into cold water, immediately within no time the reaction takes place, and the reaction is explosive in nature. Almost it is explosive in nature, because the sodium metal will catch fire. It will catch fire. Even with cold water also it will catch fire. Okay, because the reaction is very rapid. But if you, in the case of magnesium cannot react with ordinary water. Hence we have to take the water in the form of either boiling water or else in the form of steam. And that too, this magnesium metal should be taken in the powder form, and that too it is heated powder. When the powder is heated along with this boiling water, then only this reaction will take place. Why magnesium should be taken in powder form? Because when it is taken in powder form, this magnesium metal, it offers large surface area. Okay, so when large surface area for reaction, for the chemical reaction to occur. So if surface area is large, then the chemical reaction will occur very fastly. If surface area is less, then reaction will occur slowly. So surface, it offers large surface area for reaction with water. For reaction with what? With water, with boiling water. For reaction with boiling water. So like this, we have to take what? We have to take the magnesium in powder form. So in this way we can explain the reactivity of sodium metal and reactivity of magnesium. So when compared to magnesium, the reaction of sodium metal with water is very fast, and even the sodium metal can react even with cold water. But magnesium does not react with cold water. We have to take boiling water, or else we have to take steam, water in the form of steam, and that too this magnesium should be taken in powder form, and we have to heat this mixture. We have to heat the mixture of magnesium and steam. Okay, powdered magnesium and steam. Then only this reaction will take place. Otherwise, that reaction does not take place. And finally, hydrogen gas is liberated. So in this way, we can discuss this answer. Right. We will learn the other answers in the next video.